Okay, hey guys, so if you hear some background noise, I'm sorry, the gang's all here. So today I'm going to be doing some first impressions on some things from Beauty Bakerie, just like the face stuff. Like I have a foundation, a concealer, and the powders. That's what I'm going to be doing a first impression on today. I need to get some brushes. Okay, so, okay, I got my brushes. I gotta do my brows off camera, but I wanted to tell you guys real quick. So I applied this moisturizer, the Daily Hydration Moisturizer by Shea Moisture, just because some of the reviews I read, I know it does recommend using that face oil, but I didn't want to buy it. I wasn't paying $30 for the little thing, so I didn't buy that. So I did apply this moisturizer, which is not one that I usually like to use under foundation because it is very hydrating, so it kind of glows a little bit. So I'm assuming that it's going to combat the dryness and matteness from this foundation, just from the other videos that I've seen. So I decided to use this moisturizer, and I'm going to apply my brows off camera, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I did my brows. If you guys want to see my updated brow routine, these are like what I consider my Maybelline brows. I will have that linked somewhere in the description box or like in the cards over here for you guys to check out. But for now, I'm going to be using the Too Faced. I need to... So I showed you guys what moisturizer I use, but now I'm going to be using the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Smoothing Face Primer. I'm going to be using this to prime my face. And I'm just going to use a little bit, just kind of in my T-zone, in my forehead. Oh, let's jump into the foundation. Now, one thing I will mention, because this kind of annoyed me after the fact. So I ordered my package. Not annoyed me, but it was just kind of like, oh, I wish I got that. But I ordered my order. I ordered a foundation, the 2 powders, and a concealer. So I guess originally for the launch, which I didn't know this until after I placed my order. I guessed, I'm assuming for the launch, but I don't even know if it was for the launch because I was watching videos from as soon as 2 to 4 months ago, that when you ordered a foundation, they sent you the next shade that was closest to this for free. Now, I don't know if they were doing this for just like really popular influencers or what, but when I got mine, I just got one, which it's not a big deal because I wasn't expecting to. Actually, I was expecting to after I placed my order and watched other people's videos. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I placed my order, then watched some videos of them doing this. I'm like, oh, that would be cool if they send me the next shade the closest. But that's not what they did. I got the one. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it was kind of like, oh, whatever. But you guys seen the packaging. It's the Cake Mix Demi Matte Foundation. It says vegan, long-lasting formula. And then it pulls down like this, and then you have your foundation in this nice frosted glass. I love glass bottles for foundation. If you guys don't know, the shade I decided to go with is 17. I'm not going to get all into the packaging and things like that. You guys seen it. The packaging is nice. It's glass. It's frosted. Super cute. I like the top though, that it's like rose gold and it's not just like, you know, a black top or whatever, or plastic. So it does retail for $28, I believe. Sorry, I'm like shaking it up. Yeah. And so I'm gonna use a brush to apply this, just based off of some of the reviews that I've seen. I'm gonna use a brush. It looks like it was the best. It is without the tap. It does have a pump. Good thing. So I'm gonna start applying. I'll do a little swatch. I'm gonna take. I have a feeling this color isn't really gonna work, but that's a shade. I mean, it might. I took 2 pumps for now. So I'm going to be using the Real Techniques buffing brush to apply this. Yeah, the color looks a little red, but I'm hoping like it'll come all together with the concealer and the powder and everything. So cross your fingers, guys. So there's a little red, but I'm just gonna work on one side at a time, just based off of the reviews that I saw. I heard that it does dry down pretty fast. And like I said, for right now, I just used really like 1.5 pumps. Actually, the coverage on camera looks better than it does in my mirror. Okay, it's not an awful color. It's pretty decent. It is a little red, but I feel like it's workable. Oh, you can see the difference. Okay, it's not looking in my camera. It actually doesn't look awful. It is a little. I'm looking at my phone camera too. It is a little orange. I'm just gonna take a little bit more, just like that much more. Just like one more, like full pump. And I'm just gonna work it in still. Do just kind of like a slightly, because I feel like I did a light layer. It's very Oompa Loompa. I kind of almost wish they would have been doing the same thing and like maybe sent me 15. Oh god, I look a little Oompa Loompa. Okay. Alright. Hopefully with the concealer and powder it'll get itself under control. Oh god. I look very Oompa Loompa, guys. Like, very Oompa Loompa. I'm not even gonna front. Not even gonna front. Okay, let's keep going. Let's just keep going, okay? Next, I'm gonna go in with their Cake Face Concealer. The shade that I picked up was, it's the concealer, it has a blue top. A shade I picked up was You're Beautiful. So we're gonna work with that, and I'm gonna use my Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm going to work on one side at a time, because I did hear the same thing about this, that it does dry down pretty fast. Okay. And I'll put the price of this down like somewhere here so you guys know, because I don't remember this one off the top of my head. Okay, and the shade I do like. Actually, in the bottle it looks a lot cooler, but when I apply it, it does give kind of like that yellow neutral kind of effect. So I'm gonna start blending it out, and I'm gonna use my sponge, trying to wring out any excess water in this. And I am going to use my Real Techniques sponge. I don't want it to sit too long, because I did hear, oh yeah, it dries down really fast. Oh shoot. Work quickly, guys, with these products. Work quickly. Work quickly for sure. Like, even that time of me squeezing on my sponge, like, it started drying and like setting. So work quickly. I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush and just blend that out. Okay, I'm gonna move a lot faster on the other side because even in that slight moment that I was like bringing this out, it was drying and setting. So let me get my sponge ready to go because apparently I didn't even move quick enough, and that was what, 2 seconds? Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with their flower setting powder. It comes in a container like this, or the packaging. And then I got the yellow one, and I got the brown one as well. I got the brown one and the yellow. But this yellow always frightens me when it's this tone of yellow because I've never used, but I've heard nothing but great things about it from some of the people that I trust here on YouTube. So I'm gonna rock with it.
You're making a video?
Yes.
Video?
Video.
Video?
Yes.
Oh. Video? Video? Video?
So I'm gonna go in with the powder. I put a little in the lid, and this is what I mean. Okay, so let's apply this. It's very fine, which is awesome. I'm being honest, guys. And you guys know that I'm used to wearing my black opal finishing powder, which is a lot more yellow. A lot. This is so fine. This is crazy. Very fine. It's a lot more yellow. I'm gonna just apply it. This guy got some more in the cat. I'm used to my black opal finishing powder, and it's a lot more yellow than this for sure. So this honestly isn't if I would have seen this in person, I probably would have picked it up just based on the fact that it's Beauty Bakerie, but I honestly probably would be like a little sketchy to use it. But it's super fine. It's swept away nicely for the most part. It's definitely very brightening. But I'm gonna go in with this powder. I'll go into it later. I'm gonna go in with the brown now. I do like this tone of brown though, so I like the way that looks. Picked up too much, but I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques sponge again. And I'm just going to use the flat side, or like the big side. And I'm just going to dab a little bit. This is how I always apply my powder, so that's why I'm doing it this way. And I'm just going to, ooh, that's very red, which probably doesn't make for a good red foundation. Okay, the powder is very red. It probably would work more with like my actual foundations that are like a little more neutral. This one is this foundation was pretty warm and a little red for me. So I feel like the red foundation and the red powder kind of Oompa Loompa mode. It doesn't look awful. Let me look at my camera. Yeah, oh, like this doesn't make for good. Like, alright, I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back with my initial thoughts of everything. Okay, I'll be back. So I'm finished with my makeup. The only thing I did was apply some highlight, eyeliner, mascara, and my lips. Just, I know you guys are gonna ask me about my lips. This is the Beauty Place matte liquid lipstick in Lulu. So first thoughts on the Beauty Bakerie like face line, I guess. As far as like the makeup, the concealer, the powders, because that's all I got. I didn't order anything else from them. The coverage is good. I'm not even gonna lie, the coverage is good. I want to say it's like a medium to full coverage, definitely buildable. The color on me, like if I go outside, it's not like awful, but I wish I would have gotten a shade, the shade 15, I think it was, because I think I was going back and forth between 17 or 15. Probably should have went with 15. So I may go back and order the that shade. I may go back and order that one just because I do like the actual foundation itself. It is super matte. I did set my face with not a mattifying setting spray. I actually used the Mario Badescu Rose Water, which I haven't used this one in a while, but I usually use this when I have like really drying matte foundation. So I used this one because I felt like this foundation dries pretty quickly, so it's gonna stay matte pretty long. So I just added a little moisture to it, just to see how if it works differently than if I was to use the mattifying setting spray. So I used this one. Nothing serious. The powders I do like, surprisingly. I do like the yellow powder, surprisingly, because like I said, that tone of yellow is usually one that I would not reach for at all. Like if this wasn't a black owned business and I was in the store and I saw that yellow, I would not have picked it up. But I like it actually. It's a really nice color. It doesn't like, actually once it like settles into the skin, it's not like overpowering. It's super fine, so I like that. The brown, I do like it because obviously it's the same consistency as the yellow. I just don't think, since this foundation was already too kind of orangey red for me, I feel like I should have used my black oval finishing powder just to kind of counteract that. I felt like using this one with this particular shade of foundation only enhanced the red and orangeness of the foundation. I feel like this would be pretty good on my more neutral kind of yellow, the more undertones that are actually my complexion. I feel like this would be good with those, but for like this foundation color, it just enhanced, like brought out that redness, because this powder is pretty like red. Like it's a warm powder. It's not a neutral powder to me, on me, like it. So I feel like it just enhanced those shades. So the concealer, oh, didn't even mention the concealer. The concealer I like, it dried pretty fast. So you gotta work really fast to literally apply it and blend it out. Like it dries super fast. You guys saw on this side, like it 2 seconds of me squeezing on my sponge and it was already like difficult to blend. So definitely apply, blend it out right away like I did on this side. That's what I would say. They're both, the foundation and the concealer, they dry super fast. But I'm gonna do a check-in. That's just like my initial thoughts. I'll be back later on and do like a final like check-in and whatever, let you know how it's holding up, XYZ. Okay, all right, I'll see y'all in a few hours. I'm probably only gonna have this on probably maybe for 6 hours, but I feel like that's enough for me to know. Okay, so I will be back with a check-in and then I'll do a final check-in later on, but I'll be back soon, probably in the next hour, 2 hours for a initial check-in.
Hours later.
Okay, hey guys, so I am here for a check-in really quickly. The foundation is holding up pretty good. I'm actually not too mad at the color. I am still, the color is still a little off to me. It's still a little reddish to me, but honestly, I think it's because of the actual setting powder, because it's definitely more red. I will show you guys really quickly. So the setting powder that I usually use is the Black Opal finishing powder, and in dark, you guys, that's literally like the only one you guys have ever seen me use. Sorry, I'm like making a mess, like one of the downfalls of loose powders, but it's like, it's one of those things you just deal with because I still love loose powders. So this is the Beauty Bakerie one. This is my Black Opal one. So as you can tell, the tones are very different. I kind of feel like with the shade of the foundation that I use, the number 17, I feel like that shade I should have definitely used my Black Opal finishing powder instead. But obviously this is the first impression, so I wanted to use, you know, the Beauty Bakerie stuff. But I feel like in the future, that's what I'm going to do, because I feel like this powder will kind of balance out that undertone of number 17 that wasn't really matching me, so to speak. Because even I looked on the website, if I ordered number 15, I felt like it would have been a little too dead, or speak, too cool. So I'm not going to order a second one, but they do have eyeliner, so your girl might order that. But as far as the coverage, it's really, really nice. I got a lot of compliments so far, but I haven't had it on that long. I really like it. I had it on, this is probably about 2 hours since you guys first saw me. I actually really like it. The coverage is the kind of coverage that I like that medium buildable kind of coverage. I'm like a full coverage type of girl, but it's kind of like a medium to full coverage. You can definitely build it. I wouldn't build it too much. You don't want to really be cake face. Even though it's cake mix, you don't really want that. But you can definitely maybe do, I would say at most 2 layers. I use about 2.5 pumps. I think that's kind of enough. Like, that's enough. Especially once you apply the powder. The powder gives you like a little extra coverage. You don't really need that much coverage. And with my Black Opal, it does the same thing. So in the future, when I do use my Black Opal, 2.5 pumps at most is enough. So far, I'm not mad at it. I do like the concealer. The concealer's holding up. No real creasing or anything. So I do like the concealer. The concealer's holding up really, really nicely. So tis bomb. But yeah, so that's it for now for the check-in. I'll get into my final thoughts and the final check-in a little bit later. I hope you guys enjoy. And I will see you guys a little bit later.
Hours later.
I had it on for almost 8 hours, just under 8 hours. So I wanted to come through and do my final thoughts on the Beauty Bakerie Cake Mix Foundation. I actually took it out of the box. So, okay, as far as the color goes, I'm actually not as bothered by it as I was when I first applied it. I actually don't mind it. I just know for next time I'm either going to do one of 2 things. I'm either going to use the yellow powder all over my face or use my Black Opal finishing powder and not necessarily their powder. But I feel like if I would have set it with the yellow powder all over, I would have been good to go. But outside of that, because the shade that's before this, I don't think it would work. It may work, but I just really don't want to spend another $30 to find out if it's going to work or not. So I'm going to keep the color that I got. If I happen to stumble upon it or someone sends it to me or I have an extra $30, maybe I'll go buy the number 15, but I'm not spending another $30 on a foundation. So on that note, I'm not going to be buying the shade that's lighter to this. I'm just going to make it work for me. But like I said, I do think that if I would have set my entire face with the yellow powder, I would have been good. Or if I would have just used my go-to Black Opal finishing powder in dark, I'd have been just fine. But I didn't do that. Big deal. Whoop-de-whoop. Yeah. So nonetheless, I am going to be doing this as far as like how everything turned out, I don't know if you guys can see, but my face is still really matte. With every foundation, guys, every time I do a review or first impression of a foundation, my nose, Lord, the oil comes through. It don't matter what foundation. So ignore my nose. My nose is literally the only part of my face that's shiny, but it's always my nose, okay? Every foundation that I use. So I don't even hold anyone to a higher standard of keeping my nose from not getting oily. My oil in my nose is just, it do what it want to do. So I'm not even going to hold them accountable for that. But as far as the rest of my face goes, girl, it's all matte. The coverage is great. I'm actually not, you know, I'm not, like, I don't have anything bad to say. It's the foundation I really like. The under eye, the concealer, I actually really like. I was a little sketchy about it, but the color actually works well, because actually when it goes on, I feel like it's cool, but like as it dries and sets, it does have more of like a yellow type of kind of color that I usually like. So I do like that. The concealer and the foundation dry super fast, period. So if you're applying this foundation or you're thinking about getting it, or you have it and you haven't used it in a while because you haven't figured out how to use it or whatever it is, work in sections. If you're doing a concealer under eye, do it one at a time and blend it out right away. Same thing with the foundation. It will be hard to blend the longer you let it sit. It does dry super fast, so I will warn you guys about that. But I don't really care about that. It's fine. Like, work quick or not quick, it doesn't matter to me. And the powders, I love the powders. Honestly, I love the powders. The brown, I'm not too fond of the color, the tone of the powder, but I think it will work with some of my other foundations that I do have. So nonetheless, about the foundation, it works. It's pretty much the type of foundation that I like. It's not going to be for everybody, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, if you have dry skin, you might like this if you use like that oily kind of stuff underneath. If you have oily skin, I don't think it's necessary. Just maybe use a hydrating moisturizer like I did. But other than that, the foundation, it like stays put. I really, really like it. The one thing that I will say about the powders that I really, really like, besides it's very fine milled, which is a plus, and two, it doesn't have any of those little like specks of shimmer or glowiness in them. That's one of the reasons why I don't buy a lot of finishing powders, because I'm afraid when I get them that they will. There is a powder that I like. It's from Lancome. It's a pressed powder, and it says a matte. It says matte, but when I look in it and I apply it, I can see the shimmer, like the specks of something that you, and I'm just like, I don't want to see. So that's really it for the foundation, the concealer, and the powders. Like I said, I do recommend it for you guys. I really, really like the finish. They do have a variety of shades. I don't know how many. I was just looking for my shade. I'll put how many they have right in here somewhere. The concealers, they definitely have room to grow on the concealers as far as the shade range. I don't feel that they don't have a lot, but they don't have enough. I feel like there's a couple more concealer shades that they could add, which I can see them doing that in the future. The powders, like I said, I mean, there's 4. They have a yellow, a pink, a brown, and a translucent. Like I said, my only initial disappointment was that, and it wasn't even like an initial disappointment, it was just one of those disappointments that once I saw people were getting a second one, I was like, oh, well then maybe my order will come with a second one. But I guess maybe that was only when it first released, or they were only doing that for influencers that ordered, I think. I don't know. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for stopping in and checking out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. If you guys have any questions that I didn't answer in this video about the product, definitely leave it down in the comment section and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Mostly I reply to all my comments, so definitely, you know, leave comments, questions, anything like that down in the description box. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.